Today, I want to do a video on looking back on 2023 and looking forward to 2024. So as we look at everything that happened in the last year, there were a lot of changes to the platform, a lot of new rollouts, a lot of improvements across Advertising Console, across Seller Central, even across Vendor Central. Now, the brands that we saw drive the most success in the last year were the brands that really focused on telling their brand story, improving their product detail pages, and investing in a lot of the creative opportunities that Amazon has given us. Whether it's Amazon Post, Sponsor Brands Custom Image, Sponsored Display Video, Sponsored Display Lifestyle, the brands who invested in brands succeeded almost across the board. These sellers that were more focused on releasing new products and trying to have a competitive advantage strictly on price struggled. The reason being is anyone and everyone, as we've seen, can throw up a product on Amazon and lower their price incrementally, right? Now that we have so many sellers doing it and the competition is potentially increased on that side, everyone is racing to the bottom from a price perspective. So unless you have economies of scale and you're launching thousands of products in order to make those incremental great gains and overall profit and revenue, you're probably in a tough position due to competition increasing on the platform, due to an increase in potential fees on the platform. It is no longer the best marketplace for general sellers to compete, in my opinion. These sellers who did the best were the sellers who are investing in building a brand, who are connecting with their audience, who are driving traffic externally potentially, who are investing in an amazing click-through rate because they have such a strong product detail page experience, and who are driving sales because they've connected with their audience, not just because they're the lowest price point on the page. Those are the brands who have done the best. Now, last year when I did my predictions video, a lot of it was around utilizing the creative opportunities Amazon's giving us in 2023 to stand out on the page. It was Sponsor Brands Custom Image, Sponsored Display Video, all of those things. The brands who invested in those tend to do much, much better and tend to think much more long-term around their opportunities on the platform. Maybe they're a little bit less profitability centric and a lot more focused on understanding the flywheel on Amazon and establishing a stronghold in the marketplace when it comes to organic rank and brand building opportunities. Now, as we look to 2024, I think brand and creative is going to continue to be a really big focus. But I also think moving into a more upper funnel mindset is going to be incredibly, incredibly important. Now, I'm not going to dive into profitability and a negative flywheel when you're only focused on ACOS and tacos. I have a ton of videos on that. What I am going to discuss is the Amazon search results. The Amazon search results are limited to how many sponsored product ads Amazon can put on the page without diminishing the customer experience. Amazon cannot continue to add a ton of additional advertising placements on the page. Amazon wants it to be a great experience for the customer, right? So what happens when you have a limited amount of real estate, but a ton of people buying that real estate, is your ad costs potentially increase. Now, thankfully, our conversion rates have increased pretty much across the board, I feel like. But as those costs get a little bit higher, we're going to have to come up with ways to connect with our audience way before that original search is even made. Now, what I mean is, if you're bidding on the term black pin and a customer types in black pin, they were already planning on buying a pin. That's why they typed in that search result. You just happen to serve them an ad right then and there. Amazon advertising sponsored ads are very bottom of the funnel. A customer has to make a search in order to see your ad. They already had search intent and purchase intent if they're on Amazon. Brands that are going to succeed in 2024 are the brands that are going to invest in upper funnel tactics. They are going to let a customer know that they need a black pin before they ever make that search. They're going to utilize things like DSP and look at timeframes like back to school shopping and say, hey, this person searched for a backpack 1 week ago. I want to serve them an ad for my black pin and let them know in a more disruptive way that they need to buy my black pin. That way, when they do decide to go to Amazon and type in Blackpin, they're already aware of me and more likely to click my sponsored product ad because they've already seen me elsewhere. Maybe they saw my video elsewhere and I was able to educate them on why my pin is best. The brands that invest in that full funnel marketing strategy are going to have a competitive advantage because now you're not just competing directly on sponsored ads. You're not just competing for the highest bid on the page. You're also driving awareness before that search is made, meaning you're more likely to convert. Now, historically, there's been a lot of arguments that awareness campaigns on Amazon don't do well. Maybe someone went in a little hot and spent too much money and got burned. Or maybe they only focused on impressions, or they didn't go very granular with their audience targeting. A lot of people have had bad experiences with building a full funnel strategy on Amazon, in my opinion, from what I have seen. But in reality, Amazon has rolled out a ton of different tactics and insights that allow us to make a full funnel strategy a lot more profitable, a lot more granular, and a lot more aligned with what our brands are trying to achieve. Small things like Amazon Marketing Cloud. Amazon Marketing Cloud gives us the opportunity to understand path to purchase much better. We can now say when we run the streaming TV here, we see an improvement in sponsored products conversion rate here. That full funnel view of our customers allows us to make investments in areas that maybe haven't driven near strong of a return, but they improved our performance down the line. So we're able to piece together all of our investments in a much better way. Now, I think that this can be a really overwhelming concept for brands to understand because there are so many moving pieces, but I do think it's going to be really, really important as we look at a more competitive marketplace in 2024. We have brands that are getting a lot more granular with their strategy, brands that are willing to pay for top of search placement strictly for impression share, not return, because it is the number one billboard in the world, in my opinion. So how we are able to drive the audience and the following before the search is even made is going to be really, really important. Now, with that, I think continuing to invest in creative and brand building is going to be the second most important thing we can do. Whether it's improving conversion rate, click-through rate, imagery, utilizing things like Amazon Post, customer engagement, utilizing some of the new rollouts that we're seeing with theme-based targeting or audience targeting, all of those are going to play into a strategy that helps us build full funnel awareness on and off the platform. Let alone all of the insights Amazon has from a display standpoint and all of their external targeting capabilities. So all in all, I think it's been an exciting year. So many changes and rollouts on the platform, and I think more opportunity as we look into the future. We'd love to hear anyone else's opinions or things that are working well for them or not working well. As always, thank you so much for listening to this point. Let me know your thoughts and comments. All the engagement helps everything that we do. So super thankful for everyone, and hopefully everyone has an amazing 2024. See ya.